What's going on YouTube? It's Ikeo here and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'll be going over pretty much what is a perfect setup for trading ICC. What does ICC stand for? That stands for the indication, the correction, and then the continuation, okay? So what is the perfect setup when it comes to ICC? So I have a bunch of charts open. I'm just gonna make this briefly. This don't need to be a 30-minute long video. I'm not gonna drag this out, so let's get straight to the point. So the first thing that helps us understand what is a perfect setup for ICC is understanding market structure and understanding what is a trend and how to identify higher highs and higher lows. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can. And if you want to take a screenshot of this, this is very important. This also helps you when it comes to the perfect setup for ICC. So on the uptrend, I know you guys have probably watched my previous video when I talk about spotting reversals or uptrends and downtrends. On a uptrend, price will create higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Okay, on a downtrend, price will create lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Price rarely just creates one thick ass candlestick up or down, whether it's bullish or bearish. It rarely does that unless it's news or politics or Trump tweeting. But most likely, when price is on an up or downtrend, it will have some type of level of support. And then let's say on a downtrend, it will look something like this: an indication, a correction, a continuation. What does this also look like here? This also look like a lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so where do you get your entries from? If you guys have watched my entry videos, you get your entry from the continuation below this level or above this level. On a uptrend, it's indication, correction, continuation, aka ICC. Indication, correction, continuation. So your entry will come from the continuation above this level, another candle closure above this level that is bullish, a selling bearish candle closure below this level on the continuation after it is done its correction. Okay, so your entry will come something like this. It will look something like this. So that's just a simplified version. So now let me go over it one more time. So ICC is a indication, correction, continuation. Indication, correction, continuation. Indication, correction, continuation. To either side. You can go to the downside. A indication, a correction, a continuation. A indication, a correction, a continuation. It's the same thing. This looks similar to trends. Market structure. On the uptrend, price creates higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. On a downtrend, price creates lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. On a uptrend, price would never break its higher highs or higher lows unless it's forming a reversal or becoming a downtrend. On a downtrend, price will never break its lower highs and lower lows unless it's forming a bullish and becoming a uptrend. So now let me show you on the real chart so you guys are not just like, oh, it's just drawings, it's just drawings, it's easy, just drawings. I be seeing y'all comments. So boom, this is Bitcoin. I made $30,000 on Bitcoin and I'm gonna show you exactly what I identified. So the first thing I identified was obviously I mark up my support and resistance. This is why it's very important to watch all the videos in order and it's not this or that, it's this and that. Just change your mindset. It's not, oh, if I can just watch the entry videos in the trend, I'll be okay. No, that's not how shit works around here, okay? And it's money on the line. And you want to be as thorough as possible when you're in this market because you want to be in this game for a very long time. So what I did was mark my low in the market and mark my high in the market. Then I marked my higher highs, higher lows, and stuff like that. Then I marked my support and resistance area, which is in this gray box here. Now, as we looking at this, what does this look like based off what we trade? What we trade again is ICC, indication, correction, continuation. What does this look like? This looks like a indication. If you guys say indication, you guys got it correct. This is an indication. So now what we're waiting on the correction. So it should look something like this. And this is how we're going to get our perfect setup because you can't have ICC without having uptrends, downtrends, and market structure. It's just impossible. It all works entwined in line with each other, okay? So now we wait for something like this. This is the indication that we have. We're waiting for it to correct back into this gray area. It just left to C to give confirmation that it wants to continue down. And then once it creates a selling candle on the higher time frame, which is the 4 hour, 3 hour, it don't really matter. The higher time frames is 1 hour to 4 hour or 1 hour to month. Once it creates that, then we'll get in on a sell position. So let's watch this play out. Boom. We now have what is this called? This is called ICC. You have an indication, then it corrected back the area just left, which is below this level, this gray box, and now it is closing below this level again. So where is our first target? Our first target obviously is going to be this low, okay? Realistically, I targeted this low first because below this level, it went here before, and then I targeted this one. But this is a perfect setup for ICC, okay? So you are safe to get in on a sell position right here. and you target this low right here. And your stop loss can be wherever. So let's see how this plays out. Completely smacked our TP. You see how simple that is? What do we use in our favor? We use ICC, indication, correction, and continuation. We use support, resistance, and we also use market structure and trends. Price created a lower low, then it came back to create a lower high. So all ICC is literally lower lows, lower highs, higher lows, higher. That's literally the same thing. Literally a lower low, then it created a lower high. And now it's continuing this direction. Now it's going to form, like we can watch this play completely out. Now it's going to form something else where it's a low, then it's going to do something like this. Now let me show you a different chart where ICC applies perfectly. Okay, so boom, looking at this chart, what do we see here? We see prices on a downtrend, right? And prices headed to a level of support and resistance. So what do we know just looking at this chart right here? Like if you wanted to get into sales or buys, what would you be looking for? Okay. So if I wanted to get into sales, I'll be looking for something like this: a indication, a correction, and a continuation. And my first TP will be down at this very low. Okay. That's what I'll be looking for. For buys, I would like to see, what do we go back into in that entry video, or how we explain when price is on an uptrend, it will never break its higher highs and higher lows. When it's on a downtrend, never break its lower lows and lower highs. So if I wanted to be bullish on this chart, what I'd be looking for was price to break this lower high, give an indication above this lower high, a correction, and a continuation. Give an indication above this lower high, a correction, and a continuation. Give an indication above this all-time high. I should be looking for something like that, okay? And basically, that's how you get another entry as well. Sometimes it does not have to be super textbook, just like the last chart we seen, which was Bitcoin chart, where it's at a level of support resistance. Sometimes you can get your entry off in the perfect setup off the break of a lower low or a lower high, or a higher low or higher low. Sometimes you get your perfect entry off the break of a higher high or a higher low or a lower low or lower high. So let's just see how this plays out. So like I said, if price breaks above here, we'll wait for ICC fundamentals, a indication, a correction, a continuation. Okay, if price breaks below this support area, we'll be looking for an indication, a continuation. We'll be looking for an indication, correction, a continuation. Same thing. Okay, so let's see how price plays out on this chart. Boom. So what do we have here? What will be our perfect entry? Most people would have got in right here. That is true. But the thing with this is price did not create any type of correction back to the downside to test this area. You feel me? It did not. So to be on the safe side, when I got in this trade and when I made a lot of money on this trade, what I waited for price to break this second lower high. I was patient. I probably missed thousands of dollars right here, but I was patient. But as we see, if we drag this line over, price literally retested this lower high it broke. So it created a what? A indication, a correction, and a continuation. Once price broke this high as well, what did it do? Let's see. Price created a indication, a correction, and a continuation. Okay, rinse and repeat. So you could have got two different entries, literally two different entries. It does not always have to be at an era of supply, demand, support, resistance. It can literally just be the break of a lower high and a lower low, or a higher high, higher low. Like I said, I got in right here. Exactly right here. Stop loss was here. My TP was obviously this high because I didn't see any of this, because that's not realistic. The only thing I seen with price was price did something like this. This was the only thing I seen at the time. So I got in right here. And then, like I said, I targeted this all-time high right here. This was my TP, and completely ripped through. It's just that simple. So let me go over it again. So you can get your perfect entry from a break of a support and resistance, or you can get it from the break of a higher high, higher low, or lower low and lower high. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys want to learn how to trade ICC the way that I do, and you guys want to take the trades that I trade, be part of a private community, make sure you guys tap that link in the description. It'll be the first link, and it will send you guys over to the private trading group. But if you guys want something more hands-on, like a one-on-one mentorship by me, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram. It's the same as my YouTube name, and just type mentorship, and it will send you a link to book a call with me. So walk with truth, walk with power, and may God favor you.